It's officially that time of the year. The MLB Draft is coming. We're a few weeks away. We got the draft combine starting this week. I'm going to be there. This is going to be incredible. So I figured this was the perfect time to drop my first MLB Draft mock draft of the season. I'm going to readjust it after the combine because, of course, there's going to be 88 high school players there. I'm going to be able to watch them. I'm going to be able to get insight. There's going to be scouts there. There's going to be MLB.com draft writers. I'm going to learn so much more from being there. I'm super excited. So we'll update this mock draft after the combine. But right now I wanted to do one pre-combine and kind of get a baseline and give you guys a little bit of insight on who could possibly be drafted by what teams. And again, remember, the mock draft isn't necessarily a ranking. This is who I think each team could possibly draft in that slot. MLB Draft's different than any other league. These guys won't necessarily have an impact for 2, 3, 4 years sometimes. And it's not always about drafting the guy with the most hype or a team need. You're drafting for what you think could be the best available player in your eyes. So as always, if you guys do enjoy these videos, drop a like on the video. I put a lot of time into this mock draft stuff, and I'm excited to bring all the draft content to you all draft season long. So make sure you're also subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on any of that. Get in the comment section down below. Let me know what draft prospect you're especially excited about. And make sure you follow me on Twitter at GiraffeNeckMarc. Link is in the description as well as to all my other social media. So let's get going into this mock draft. And getting it started with the #1 overall pick, we've got the Pittsburgh Pirates, and I have them going with catcher out of Louisville, Henry Davis. He has gained a lot of steam over the last couple weeks and months as the #1 pick for Pittsburgh. It doesn't look like they're going to go Jack Leiter, who in my opinion is #1 on my big board, and that has to do with money. They're looking for a guy who can go under slot value, but is also going to have that talent. And to me, that's Henry Davis. He's the best catcher in the draft, one of the best players, the best college hitter, arguably, has a cannon of an arm, absolutely mashes at the plate. This seems like a really, really good pick for the Pirates. #2 overall, the Texas Rangers. I'm going to go with a high schooler out of the Dallas area, Jordan LAWLAR. LAWLAR, shortstop, getting a lot of comparisons to Bobby Witt, a big, strong kid, 6'2", like 185, plays a very nice shortstop, great athlete, and has some serious pop in the bat. This dude is crazy talented and fits in perfectly as #2 pick for the Texas Rangers, also keeping it local with a Dallas kid. The Detroit Tigers have the #3 overall pick and getting an absolute steal here. They're going to go with shortstop out of high school from California, Marcelo Meyer. Marcelo is just possibly one of the best players in the draft. He has the potential to be the #1 overall pick. A lot of people have him going to the Pirates. I think he drops to the Tigers here, and I wouldn't even call this much of a drop. The Tigers are getting an absolute steal. The dude has arguably the best glove in the class, is a solid hitter, great from the left side. This is a guy you can build your team around, and the Tigers, they need that good middle infield prospect. He's going to be your guy. The Boston Red Sox coming in at #4, and they get possibly the steal of the draft here, Jack Leiter from Vanderbilt, right-handed pitcher. Like I said earlier, in my eyes, Jack Leiter is the best available player in the draft. He's my #1 ranked guy, and the Red Sox, who of course could always use a little more pitching, are getting a guy that in a couple years could come up and make a serious impact. Jack Leiter threw a no-hitter in college already. He's lights out, has a great fastball, nasty breaking pitches. He's just the best pitcher available, and honestly, probably the best player available. And for the Red Sox, who aren't going to care about spending the money here on Jack Leiter, feels like it's a no-brainer. He's so sick. With the #5 overall pick in the MLB Draft, the Baltimore Orioles are up, and I have them going with shortstop out of North Carolina, high school player, Khalil Watson. Khalil Watson has been flying up the draft boards. I've seen him go as high as #2 overall, and with good reason. 5'9", short, stocky kid, plays shortstop with a fantastic glove, incredible athlete, can fly around the base paths, and he has got a serious swing. He's got the most beautiful swing in this entire class. I love watching this guy hit, and he's got some pop. While he's short in stature, he is an elite hitter at the plate, and what Khalil Watson can do with the bat and the glove makes him a top 5 player almost as an absolute lock. I think the Orioles are getting a really, really good player in Khalil. #6 overall, my favorite high school arm, the Arizona Diamondbacks are going to go with Jackson Jobe. If it wasn't for the hype that the guys in the top 5 were getting, honestly, Jackson Jobe, I would go as high as #1 overall. I think he has stuff to be a lights out pitcher. He's got a great fastball with great command. His slider is one of the nastiest sliders at any level in all of baseball. The RPM on that stuff is like 33, 3,400. That would be the highest spin rate at Major League Baseball for a slider. We know guys are using spider tack. Like, Jackson Jobe just has unbelievable stuff. He's a high school arm, prep arm more so. I think that this guy has a potential to be a sneaky top 3 pick, but right now I have him going to the Diamondbacks. I hope he's going to be at the combine, and I hope I get to watch this guy a little more closely because I think he has potential to be a superstar. Dropping all the way to #7 here, the Kansas City Royals, the other Vanderbilt pitcher, I'm going with Kumar Rocker. I think Kumar Rocker still has the opportunity to get a little bit higher in this draft, and you could see a team maybe like the Red Sox go after him if they're not feeling Jack Leiter or if Leiter's off the board. But based on how his play has been through the rest of the season, people are getting a little, I don't want to say skeptical of Kumar, but it's just that the other guys have risen while he's dropped a little bit. Still throws hard, but that fastball does get hit. The slider, though, filthy. The breaking pitches, that's where Kumar really shines, and that's what takes him into that elite level. He's a guy who has a big frame, is only going to get better, I think, with the right teaching and the right help. Huge, huge potential for him. I still have him, like, towards the top, but I think he drops a little bit in the draft as of right now to 7. At #8, the Colorado Rockies. They took Zach Veen last year, who was one of my favorite players. And I have them taking another guy I'm super hype on, and that's Brady House. Brady House is simply a house. High school kid, shortstop, looks like he's gonna stick at shortstop, and with the size that he has, it's a no-brainer. Brady House is 6'3", 210. I told you, literally built like a house, and he plays good shortstop, destroys baseballs. I mean, absolutely crushes them. And the Rockies, what do you know, they're gonna be in a market for a shortstop in the near future. Trevor Story isn't staying there. Brady House seems like a perfect pick for them. Stop picking pitchers. That's all I say. Don't pick a pitcher, please. Number 9, the Los Angeles Angels. Angels have been going pitching recently, and last year in the first round, they took Reed Detmers, a college pitcher. I think they do it again with another college pitcher, Ty Madden out of the University of Texas. Another huge, big, strong kid, right-handed pitcher, has the potential to be that ox in your rotation who can just eat innings, take over, be a top-line guy, throws a heavy fastball, good velocity, good breaking pitches. He's a very strong pitcher, one of the best pitchers in college this year, coming out of the University of Texas. Number 10, my favorite team, the New York Mets, and I really don't know where to go here. I don't know if they're going to go with a college outfielder. I don't know if they're going to go a little aggressive. So I went with a very safe pick, Matt McClain, shortstop, but really more so a second baseman out of UCLA. Matt McClain's a really good player, like very solid all around. Doesn't do anything exceptionally well. He has no tools that are like super high grades, but he's a good fielder, good athlete, puts the ball in play, has a little bit of pop. He's a very well-rounded player. And while the Mets have Francisco Lindor locked up for a long time at shortstop, and they got Mauricio, and they got all that young talent up the middle, it seems like Matt McClain is a very safe pick, could be a second baseman, and at worst is going to be someone that they can leverage into trades to get some other players. He's going to be a guy who plays for sure. Number 11, the Washington Nationals. Had a great draft last year. I think they keep it going here by taking Colton Cowser, outfielder out of Sam Houston State, who is a beast. The dude is a natural-born center fielder. He's got length, he's got size, he's got pop in the bat, he puts the ball in play. He's an all-around good player, arguably 5 tools. While he didn't necessarily play at like a powerhouse team in a powerhouse conference, this kid can play. Colton Cowser is a really good outfield pick for the Nationals. I could see him roaming the outfield with Soto in the future for sure. Number 12, the Seattle Mariners. I've seen this guy go as high as 5, as high as 3 in some drafts. Harry Ford, catcher, second baseman, outfielder. They're not necessarily sure, but the reason is because he's such an incredible athlete. Harry Ford can play all those positions very well, and he's been flying up draft boards because he has the tools that you just can't teach, which is going to be the athleticism and the strength. And he also has good hit tools, and he's a good fielder, and he's got some pop in the bat. Like, Harry Ford could be going a lot higher, but I think the Mariners here get a steal at number 12 with Harry Ford. Number 13, the Philadelphia Phillies. I have them staying local. A kid from Pennsylvania, Benny Montgomery, outfielder. Benny Montgomery won, I believe, the perfect game home run derby back when that was a thing. He's got a lot of pop in his bat. Big, tall, lanky kid. Like, he is gangly, I would like to say, but he's really, really good. Puts the ball in play. A little hitch in his swing, but that's easy to fix because he hits the ball very hard. Plays a good outfield. Benny Montgomery is a solid pick for the Phillies and keeping it local with a Pennsylvania kid. For the 14th pick in the MLB Draft, the San Francisco Giants are up, and I have them going with Sam Bachman out of Miami, Ohio, right-handed pitcher. This is a guy who's been flying up boards recently, had a great 2021 season. There are some injury issues with his arm. There's some concerns, but this guy throws heat. Throws like close to 100 with some arm side action, has good breaking pitches. He's a guy that a lot of people are looking at and going, man, he could be a very, very good player out of the University of Miami, Ohio. He could be a sneaky mid-round pick, maybe even as high as top 10. At number 15, the Milwaukee Brewers are up, and I have them going with a right-handed pitcher out of high school, Andrew Painter. This is a guy that I'm absolutely in love with. I think he's one of my favorite pitching prospects as well with Jackson Jobe. He's a big, tall kid, 6'7", 215, and you'd think at that size, the mechanics could be all over the place. No, he's got great mechanics, very repeatable, throws a heavy baseball, and still hasn't even like put in full effort to it. Like, he throws like 94, 95, could easily get that up to 96, 97, and that's what's going to make him elite. The Brewers love to make pitchers great. I think Andrew Painter is a great guy for them to grab, work on, and get the most out of because he could be sick. Number 16, the Miami Marlins are up here, and I have them drafting Will Bednar, right-handed pitcher out of Mississippi State. Will Bednar, another guy who's been climbing some boards recently. Pitcher out of Mississippi State, of course. We've seen the Marlins be very aggressive with pitching prospects in the draft. We saw them take a guy like Max Meyer, who has really, really good stuff, and I think Will Bednar falls in that same range. A fastball in the mid-90s, a really fantastic slider, good curveball, good changeup. He's just straight up a good pitcher, and you could really push him to the limits, and the Marlins love to do that with their pitching prospects, like they did with Max Meyer. Number 17, the Cincinnati Reds. I have them going with New Jersey high schooler Chase Petty, right-handed pitcher. Chase Petty committed to the University of Florida, has been scaring some people. He's been a beast. Petty has a 70 grade fastball right now, according to MLB.com. He throws like 100 consistently. He throws absolute ched. Really good slider. Needs to work on that changeup. Only really has 3 legit pitches right now, but that fastball being such a high number and with such heat, it seems like the Reds are all over it because the Reds, they're going to be fixing pitchers. You saw them go after a guy like Hunter Green with the #1 overall pick. They love big arms, and they've got drive line guys over there. Chase Petty with drive line guys, I'm scared. Number 18, the St. Louis Cardinals. Dropping a little bit here, I got Sal Frelick, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, outfielder out of Boston College. Sal, to me, is not someone I'm particularly hyped about, but he's a guy who's going to be a very solid player. A little bit on the smaller side, but he's a scrappy player. He plays a corner outfield spot. slot, a very good athlete, is going to be a plus fielder out in the corner, puts the ball in play, hits for a high average, has a little bit of pop in that bat where he's not just a singles hitter. He's going to split the gaps, hit a few home runs, and he's all around a good player, a guy with a very low floor. You kind of know what you're going to get out of him. The ceiling is in question still. Don't know how good he could possibly be, but that floor is like an MLB type player. He's a really good and safe pick for the Cardinals, and he's a good player. For the Toronto Blue Jays with the 19th overall pick, I have them going with Ryan CUSICK, right-handed pitcher out of Wake Forest. CUSICK, another one of these big right-handed pitchers who throws absolute heat. He's 6'6", 235, and sitting around 100 miles an hour. I shouldn't say sitting. He's sitting 95 to 97, but he hits 100 regularly. He's got a really strong curveball, but what I like about him is 4 pitches, and the Blue Jays have been going after some big pitching guys recently. We saw what they've done with Nate Pearson. You got Alek Manoah, Simeon Woods-Richardson. I think he could add Ryan CUSICK into that group of those young arms that could be a part of this future rotation for the Blue Jays. At number 20, the New York Yankees. Gonna go bold here, Bubba Chandler, and the reason I have the Yankees getting Bubba Chandler, this guy has some talent. He's a right-handed pitcher slash shortstop. He's a great arm, throws like 94, 95 on the mound with some run. He's also a very good shortstop, good glove, good hitter, a very, very solid prospect, but what's scary about him is that he's committed to Clemson right now to play baseball and also be the quarterback on the football team. And in some interviews with him, he has not yet decided whether or not he is going to be a baseball player or go to Clemson and play football as well. So I think the Yankees could be a team that could get him, pay him a little bit over slot value, and entice him to become a minor league prospect in their organization. So while I think he could really fall in like that 10 to 15 range based on his talent, I think teams are going to pass on him based on like the risk that he doesn't sign, where the Yankees could go there, give him some money, and he would be a really, really good player. He just feels like a Yankee guy to me. At the number 21 spot, the Chicago Cubs are up, and I have them going with left-handed pitcher out of Kansas State, Jordan Wicks. Jordan Wicks is a very, very safe pitcher. Sits about 93, 92, kind of low to mid 90s with his fastball, but he's got arguably the best changeup in the class. It's absolutely filthy. It is an out pitch. It's devastating to right-handed hitters, and he had a great season at Kansas State. This is a guy who maybe the stuff doesn't jump off the board, but he gets swings and misses, gets strikeouts, and he has 4 pitches, and one of them being a nasty changeup. I like Jordan Wicks going to the Cubs here at number 21. At number 22, the Chicago White Sox are up, and I have them going with a little bit of a herky-jerky lefty out of New Jersey, Bishop Eustace, Anthony Salameta, or Salamito. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. I'm Italian. I should know this. But Salamito, this dude reminds me of Madison Bumgarner. The way he throws, he gets like real long with his arms, kind of 3/4 across his body, like Madison Bumgarner. Has a fastball that's around 93 to 95, throws some heat with some arm side run. It moves very well. Has a really good slider, working on a changeup, which definitely needs some help, but he has good control, super deceptive, and he's a guy who you could work on, and they're comparing him maybe to like a Mackenzie Gore type prospect that in a couple years could be flying up these boards. I think the White Sox, this makes sense. We saw what they did with another big lefty in Garrett Crochet. Give it a shot with Anthony Salamito. 6'5" left-handed pitcher who's been pretty filthy. Comparison to Madison Bumgarner sounds good to me. For the Cleveland Indians, I think they're going to go up the middle here at number 23, and that's going to be with second baseman Peyton Stovall. What Stovall does is puts the ball in play at an elite level. He has a great hit tool, 60 right now according to MLB.com. He may not be the best athlete right now, and he does project at second base, which can kind of scare some teams away, but Stovall can just straight up mash. He's a good hitter for average, has shown some pop this year in high school. This is someone that I think that the Indians could go with. It seems like a very Indians pick. He's good at barreling the baseball. You know who else is good at barreling the baseball? Jose Ramirez. He was a guy who wasn't crazy hyped up, and the Indians made him into something. Let's see what they can do with a guy like Peyton Stovall, who already has that great bat-to-ball skill. At number 24, I have the Atlanta Braves going with right-hand pitcher Gunnar Hoglund. The thing with Hoglund, got Tommy John surgery. Got hurt this season. He's going to need Tommy John. So he's going through that rehab process. But Hoglund had some of the best stuff in college baseball. He was striking out batters at an elite rate, has a fastball at the time that was sitting in the mid-90s, could get up in the upper 90s. He's got a really nice slider, a good curveball. Sometimes they kind of mix together and become a little slurvy. Good changeup, very, very good control. Doesn't walk guys, great command. This is a guy who, if he wasn't getting Tommy John, could be a top 12, top 13 pick, but because of the Tommy John concerns, he drops a little bit, but the Braves, they get a gift here at 24. Oakland A's coming in at number 25 here. Isaac Pacheco, third baseman out of high school. Pacheco's a big, strong kid, 6'4", 225, left-handed hitting, plays third base, very solid glove, cannon of an arm. Got to work on barreling up the ball a little bit, and he's not necessarily the greatest athlete, but he plays the hot corner well, has big power potential, and has an absolute cannon of an arm. This feels like a guy who has a perfect fit for the A's. He already has a command of the strike zone. You know that they love walks. Possibly the best left-handed power bat out of high school. The Minnesota Twins come in at number 26 here, and I have them going with Judd Fabian, center fielder out of the University of Florida. Fabian had top 10 hype before the season, and even at points during the year, but because of his play in Florida, he dropped a little bit. He's a big strikeout guy right now. A little bit true outcome-y, walks a lot, strikes out a lot, hits a lot of home runs. The dude's got crazy pop in his bat. He's a great center fielder. He's a super athlete. Like, he's going to stick there. If you can fix the strikeout problem, which I don't even necessarily know if you need to fix it, you might be getting a gem here if you're the Minnesota Twins. This is a guy who I would take a risk on a little bit higher. I like his ceiling a lot. There is a floor there that scares you, but his ceiling could be crazy high. Great athlete, center fielder with pop in his bat, who walks. Sounds good to me. At number 27, we got the San Diego Padres going after right-handed pitcher out of East Carolina, Gavin Williams. Gavin Williams, James, another one of these Carolina boys who throws hard and is a monster on the mound. He's 6'6", 238 pounds, throws close to 100, got a really nice curveball and changeup, working on the fourth pitch slider. Like, he hits 100 easy. It's crazy, effortlessly. And to me, for the Padres, they love these like big athletes. Gavin Williams feels like a great pick for them. Guy who could throw heat. Yep, Padres. At number 28, the Tampa Bay Rays are up, and the Rays, if they get their hands on this guy, Joshua Baez, high school outfielder out of Massachusetts, we're gonna be in trouble because we know what the Rays do with player development. We know what the Rays want. The Rays want just top quality athletes, players with certain tools. Josh Baez has them, or Joshua Baez, I should call him. First off, he's 17 years old. He's 6'4", 220. He runs extremely well for his size. He has got crazy power in his bat, possibly some of the best power in the draft. An absolute cannon of an arm. He's a very good outfielder, probably more so a corner, but a very good outfielder. And he's got an exceptional eye at the plate. Now, he does swing and miss a lot, but if those things I just said to you remind you of anyone, gonna be Aaron Judge. And that's who he reminds me of. Even his stance, his swing. He is very Aaron Judge-like. And I think for the Tampa Bay Rays, if he is there, I don't know if he will be. On my board, he is high because I love the ceiling of this kid, and I think that you can fix the swing and miss problem. It's not a long swing. He just gets a little home run happy sometimes. But if he's there for the Rays, terrifying. Terrifying what they could do to this kid. I'm extremely excited about him as a draft prospect. Joshua Baez, Tampa Bay Rays, scary. And then for the last pick of the first round, number 29 here, Los Angeles Dodgers, because of course Astros don't get a first round pick again. I got the Dodgers going with right-handed pitcher out of UC Santa Barbara, Michael McGreevy. Close to home. I think they could scout him well. Probably have a lot of information on him. 6'4", 215. What he does is he throws a lot of strikes. He doesn't walk guys. He pounds the zone. And while none of his pitches or tools are necessarily like elite level, one thing that he does have that is great is his control. And we know what the Dodgers can do with pitchers. We've seen it time and time again. They will take these pitchers that have good guts and turn them into these great pitchers. A guy like Tony Gonsolin. So to me, a guy who has 4 solid pitches, has great control, feels like a really solid pick for the Dodgers here at number 29 to end the first round off. So that's my mock draft. I'm gonna get things wrong. I'm well aware of it. I'm not gonna be right, but this is the first one of the season. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, leaving a like on the video really does help me out, as these videos take so much time, so much research. It really does help me out if you drop a like, as well as subscribe to the channel, because we're gonna be dropping draft content at you for the next few weeks. I'm gonna be at the combine dropping videos, doing videos with players, and doing Instagram stuff, Twitter. So if you're not following me on my social media as well, GiraffeNeckMarc, link in the description, follow me up there. It's Father's Day. Spend some time with your dad. Tell him happy Father's Day from GiraffeNeckMarc if you want to. I'm gonna go hang out with my dad now here. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. You know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent upload. Click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another video. Bye.